Hello, and welcome to this video on the Functional Skills Maths Practice Paper 6 at Level 1. There are 15 marks available, and you have 25 minutes in the exam to answer the questions. There are no calculators for this first section. Question 1. It's asking us to do BIDMAS, and we know what BIDMAS means. So there are no brackets, there are no indices, so we have to do division and multiplication first. So it becomes 4 plus 6, which is 10. So on the answer line, 10 for 1 mark. Question 2 is asking us if we understand what 25 squared means, which is 25 times 25. Now, because we don't know this off the top of our head, we need to multiply a 2-digit number by a 2-digit number. So use whichever method you prefer. So the box method will give us 25 times 25. 2 2s are 4 with 2 zeros, 2 5s are 10 with 2 zeros, and 5 2s are 10 with a 0, and 5 5s are 25. Add up each of the columns, and then add the two column totals together. So 625 on the answer line for 1 mark. Question 3 is asking us what is 2/5 as a decimal. I did say to remember in class that 1/5 is the decimal 0.2. So 2/5 is multiplied by 2 and it gives us 0.4. So 0.4 on the answer line for 1 mark. If you can't remember that, then you need to remember what a fraction is, which is 2 is being divided by 5. 5 doesn't divide into 2, so put down the decimal place, carry the 2, and 5 goes into 24 times. So there are two methods to get the answer of 0.4. Question 4. We have minus 12 and we need to add 13. So we're going 13 in the positive direction. So 12 on the negative side gives us 1 on the positive side. So tick box A for 1 mark. Question 5 is asking us what is 60% of 300 grams. So in the non-calculator paper, we need to do the 10% rule. So 10% is 30. And then 60% is 6 lots of the 10% amount. So multiply by 6, 6 threes are 18, and then add the 0. So 180 grams is 60% of the 300 grams. So C for 1 mark. Question 6 is asking us what is the range of these numbers. So we're looking for the highest and then we take away the lowest. So our lowest number is 95 and our highest number is 180. So our highest 180, take away 95, do the column method. So 5 from 0 doesn't go, carry 1. 9 from 17 is 8. So 85 is our answer on the answer line. Question 7. A man puts £3,000 into a savings account. The interest rate is 5% per year. How much will the interest be for the first year? So just after the interest, not the balance. So our 10% rule comes in again. So 10% of 3,000 divided by 10 is £300. So 5% is half of that, which is £150. So the interest on its own after 1 year is £150, and that's worth 1 mark. Question 8. The scale shows the probability that something will happen, and the probability arrow is 3/4 of the way up the scale. So what probability does the scale show? So A, impossible, is at the left-hand end, certain, B, is at the right-hand end, unlikely is in the left-hand area, so this must be D, the likely area. So tick D for 1 mark. Question 9. What is the volume of this cube? So the properties of the cube mean that all of the sides are the same length. So the area of the two-dimensional shape facing us is 10 times 10, which is 100 centimeters squared. Now we multiply that by the third dimension, which is also 10, and that gives us 1000 centimeters cubed. So on the answer line, 1000 centimeters cubed is already given to us. And that's 1 mark. Question 10. 5 and 2/5 is the same as summing over 5. So it wants to turn this mixed number into an improper fraction. So all we have to remember is the process for turning our mixed number into an improper fraction. And that is multiply the whole number by the denominator, which is 25, and then add the numerator that you've already got, which is 2. So that's 27 over 5. So in the box, put the number 27 for 1 mark. Question 11. A customer wants to buy a coat in the sale in a clothes shop. He has £30. Can the customer afford to buy the coat? So it says that the sale says that the price of the coat has been reduced to 70%. So 100 take away 70 tells us there's 30% off. So can the customer afford to buy the coat? So the coat is £45. So our 10% rule says 10% gives us £4.50. We don't want 10%, we want 30% to take off. So 3 lots of £4.50. Which gives us £13.50. So £13.50 is the amount we need to take off the ticket price. So £45, take away £13.50. And the coat costs £31.50 in the sale. That's the 70% price. Can the customer afford to buy the coat? No. And showing how you got your answer is the working out that I'm showing up here. And that's worth 2 marks. 1 for the word yes or no, and the second mark for your working out. Question 12. A sandwich shop owner makes 1 sandwich with brown bread for every 4 sandwiches he makes with white bread. Today he needs 600 sandwiches altogether. So our ratio is brown 1, white 4. So the 600 sandwiches is actually a total. So that goes on the right. How many sandwiches should he make with the brown bread today? So the total number of parts is 5. So to work out our scale, 600 is divided by 5. So 5 goes into 6 once, 5 goes into 10 twice. That gives us 120. So multiply each side by 120. As we're only interested in the brown bread, 1 times 120 is 120. So how many sandwiches should he make with brown bread? He should make 120 sandwiches. Question 13. John is a checkout assistant in a supermarket. There are 5 tills and 5 assistants. The supervisor allocates the tills to the assistants randomly at the start of each day. No one likes the till next to the door. What is the probability that John will get the till next to the door today? Give your answer as a fraction in its simplest form. So really, this just comes down to there are 5 assistants, and he is just one of the 5 assistants that might get allocated that till next to the door. So really, the answer is just 1/5. There's nothing to simplify. So when the manager comes to the till next to the door and allocating it, he's just got one of the 5 people to choose from, and John is just one of those 5 people. So our answer is just 1/5. Question 14. A van has a fuel tank that holds 60 litres when full. This diagram shows the fuel gauge on the van. Approximately how many litres of fuel are left in the tank, and give your answer in whole litres. So these divisions are quarters, so the dial is pointing to approximately 1/4 of the 60 litres. So don't do that, do this. I know the marker's just above 1/4, but it does say approximately, so we're going to use the quarter. So 60 divided by 4, 4 goes into 6 once, remainder 2, and 4 goes into 20 5 times. So the answer for 1 mark is 15 litres. And that's the end of section A for our paper.
Now let's look at section B. There's 1 hour and 20 minutes and 45 marks available. Let's start with question 1. Write 807,205 as figures. So we're given the number here, 807, and then it's 1,000, 205, 205. So 807,205, and that's 1 mark. Question 2. What is this number rounded to 2 decimal places? So 2 decimal places is here. So we're interested in this one, and we need to look at the next one along. So we end up with 2043.6. Now the 6 we're interested in has got a 6 following it, so we round it up to 7. So 2043.67 is worth 1 mark. Question 3. Which one of these nets will fold to make a cube? So a cube is 6-sided and all of the sides are the same length. So it can't be A, it can't be B, it could be C or D, but we've said that a cube has 6 sides, therefore it must be D. So if you tick D, you get 1 mark. Question 4. Which of these fractions is the biggest number? So we have various formats and we need to compare like with like. Now 4/10 we know as 2/5, so this one is the same as this one. So that leaves 3/4 and 1/3. Well, 3/4 you recognise as 0.75 and 1/3 is 0.3 recurring. So the biggest number that we have is B, which is 3/4. Question 5. Which one of the following lists is in decreasing order from the largest to the smallest? So look at the numbers and choose the largest number. So we have to have the largest first. So looking across A, the largest number in A is this one, so it can't be A. Look at the list for B. The largest number is here, therefore it can't be B. This is the largest number, followed by the next largest, followed by the smallest. So it's got to be C. You can check D if you want to, but in D, this number is bigger than this number, therefore it couldn't be D either. Question 6. A customer wants to buy a sofa. The salesperson says he must pay a deposit. So you can pay 10%, and that's £39.90, or you can pay 20%, that's £49.90. Explain why the salesperson must have made a mistake. Well, the 10% rule says that if 10% is £39.90, then 20% must be double that. So 20%, and don't be afraid of using your calculator for this, is £79.80. So we've just used our calculator to double the 10% value. So one of these must be wrong, one way or the other. So twice 10% is 20%. Therefore, twice £39.90 is £79.80, not £49.90 as the salesman states. And that's worth 1 mark. Question 7. A gardener needs to order fertilizer for a piece of land. The piece of land is a square with sides measuring 8 meters. The formula shows how many grams of fertilizer she needs. Grams of fertilizer needed equals the length in meters times the width times 25. The supplier sells these bags of fertilizer. Which bag of fertilizer should the gardener order? Include figures to explain your answer. So putting the numbers we've got into our formula, we've got the length in meters, which is 8, times the width in meters, which is also 8 because it's a square piece of land, times 25. Put this in your calculator, and that's 1,600 grams. So we've got 1,600 grams, and we want to convert it into kilograms. So we divide it by 1,000, and we end up with 1.6 kilograms. So the bag to buy would be the 2 kilogram bag. Question 8. A shelf stacker is making a display in a shop, and it's made up of 6 identical boxes. Each box is a cube. Which of the shapes below is the side view elevation of the display from side X? So we're looking at it in this direction. So shape A is the wrong way round. Shape B shows the correct way around. So in the answer panel, put B on the answer line. Each box has sides measuring 0.5 meter. Work out the area of this side of the display. Give units in your answer. So we've got 0.5 by 0.5 for 1 square, which is 0.25 meters squared. And from our answer above, we can see there are 3 squares. So that gives us 0.75 meters squared. So 0.75 meters squared on the answer line. The final part of the question. Each box weighs 950 grams. What is the weight of the whole display in kilograms? So we have 950 grams, and we need to multiply it by the number of boxes. So back to our display, where we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boxes. So 950 grams times 6, using our calculator, is 5,700 grams. So to turn it into kilograms, divide by 1,000 again, and we end up with 5.7 kilograms, and that's worth 4 marks in total for the 3 answers that we've given. B, 0.75 and 5.7 kilograms. Question 9. A tourist wants to know how long it will take to walk to a museum, and the map shows the route from a nearby station to the museum. Now, the scale is 1 centimetre on our map is 100 metres in the real world, and the route measures 6.5 centimetres on the map. So multiply each side by 6.5, and you get 650 metres in the real world. It takes the tourist 10 minutes to walk a kilometre. So we have minutes and kilometres, and it takes 10 minutes to walk 1 kilometre. Now, at the moment, our distance is in meters. So to turn it into kilometres, divide by 1,000. So it's 0.65 of a kilometre. The last part of the question asks, how long will it take him to walk to the museum from the station? So for the last part, we put 0.65 in here, and we multiply this side by 0.65, and we get 6.5 minutes. Now, nobody talks like that in the real world, so we know it's 6 minutes and 30 seconds. So the amount of time for the walk is 6 minutes and 30 seconds, and all of our working out is up here. Now let's look at question 10. A sales rep needs some cardboard boxes to store samples at work. The office supplier has 3 different sized boxes, A, B and C, and the dimensions are in this table. Which box has the largest volume? Explain your answer and include figures to support your explanation. So, for our working out, we can show boxes A, B and C. So for box A, the volume is the 3 dimensions multiplied together. Let's do this on our calculator and not take any chances. So that's box A. Box B, again, the 3 dimensions. And finally, box C. So, which box has the largest volume? The largest box is box A, and the explanation is A has the largest volume. And since all the units are the same, you're comparing like with like. And this question is worth 4 marks. Question 11. A carpet fitter needs to order some fixing strips to hold the carpet all round the edges of his floor. And here we've got the diagram of the floor with a couple of the dimensions missing. He can cut and join fixing strips. An online shop has packs of fixing strips on offer. Carpet Supplies Direct have 6 metre packs at £7.99 per pack, and there's an offer on of buy one and get one free. We need to work out the total cost for the packs of the fixing strips the carpet fitter needs to order. So the first thing we need to do is work out the perimeter of our room. So pick a start point, walk around and make sure we have all the dimensions we need. So we have 5.5 meters, 2.5. Now there's a dimension missing here. So the length from there to there is the 5.5 meters. Take away the 2 that we have here, so that's 3.5 meters. Again, we have another dimension missing from here to here. So we have 7.5 meters across the bottom and 2.5 meters across the top. So that must be 5 meters that's missing. Then as we continue round, we have 2 meters and 7.5 meters. So our perimeter is going to be 5.5, so starting here, walking around again, plus 2.5, plus 3.5, plus 5, plus 2, and then plus the 7.5. So that's a total of 26 meters as our perimeter. So we've got 26 meters, and if we divide that by the 6 meters, it tells us the number of packs required. So that's 4.3 recurring on our calculator, which means he needs 5 packs. Now it's asking us for the total cost. So we know the packs are buy one, get one free. So if we buy 2 packs, we get 2 free. So that's 4. So we need to buy 3 packs, and that's 3 free. So we'll end up with 6 packs in total. So because we need 5, this is the offer we need to take. So 3 packs at £7.99 each, £23.97. So the total cost is £23.97. And all of these calculations are worth 5 marks. Question 12. A doctor's receptionist wants to display a notice to show patients how long, on average, they will wait to see a doctor. The receptionist recorded how long past their appointment time patients at the surgery waited to see their doctor yesterday morning. So here we have the minutes waiting to the nearest minute and a table showing 4 by 3. So that's 4 by 3. So that's 12 patients. So we need to complete the notice. Now at level 1, average means we need to calculate the mean. So we're looking to get the total of the waiting times divided by the total number of patients that we had, which is 12. So the easiest way to do this, rather than writing them all out again, is just add each of the columns and then add each of those together. So we have 27, 27, and 18. Do these on your calculator to make sure, and then add the 3 together. So there's a total of 72 minutes waiting. So to calculate our mean, 72 divided by 12 gives us 6 minutes as our average waiting time. So now we've calculated that, we can complete the poster. So Hilltop Surgery, average waiting time, you should expect to wait 6 minutes to see a doctor today. Now, it goes on to ask us to explain why using the waiting times for yesterday morning might not give us suitable waiting time to put on the notice. Well, one reason might be yesterday was not a normal day. Or you could use something like there were not enough samples. Yesterday, since 12 people isn't a great deal when you're talking about waiting times for a surgery. Altogether, that's 3 marks. So 2 marks for calculating the mean and completing the poster, and 1 mark for the explanation why yesterday was not suitable. Question 13. A customer needs to buy a washing machine and he wants to pay monthly. And there are 2 different shops that have the washing machine that he wants, either Brown's or Home Superstore. And they've got various offers on. It's asking us to work out which offer is cheaper and by how much, and how much the customer would need to pay today. So there's several things we need to do. So what we should do really is calculate the prices based on the offers. So let's look at Brown's washing machine first. The price is £470 and we need to pay interest of 15% of the price. So in our calculators we can do 15% of £470. And that's £70.50. So we need to add that to our original price. And we have a total of £540.50 for the washing machine. Now, that's the first bit. Pay the total amount in 10 equal monthly instalments. So we take the £540.50 and divide it by 10, and we get £54.05 as the monthly instalment, and that's the first instalment that we pay. So that's how much we would pay on the first instalment as well. So this is the cost, and then this is the first instalment. Now let's look at the Home Superstore. We need to pay monthly by adding 5% of the price to our original price. So we have 5% of the £525. Do this on our calculator, is £26.25. So the total cost will be £525 plus the £26.25, giving us £551.25 for the cost of the machine at Home Superstore. Now, it says pay 1/3 today. So let's look at 1/3 of, quite literally, 1/3 of £551.25. And that gives us £183.75 to pay as a deposit today. So now we can answer our question. Our working out is up here. So work out which offer is cheaper. Well, we can see from the two prices at the top here that Brown's offer is cheaper. By how much? Well, it's £551.25 at HS. Take away the £540.50 for Brown's. That's £10.75. So it's £10.75 cheaper. And the amount you would pay today for that particular deal, looking at our answer here, is £54.05. And that question, with all the working out, is worth 5 marks. Question 14. This table shows the number of orders a salesperson got in 6 months. And here's the table with the various statistics. It says to draw a line graph to show this information. So we're going to say the title of our line graph is number of orders. Now we've got our title, we need to come up with axis labels and labels that give us the information we need. So across the bottom we're going to put the months, so that's our axis label, and I'm looking at it here, I've got to put 6 across, so if I use 2 squares I can put January there, February there, March, April, May and June, and in that way it's made the most of the paper. Now when I look at the data, I can see the data goes from 150 as our lowest to 200 as our highest. So we only want to plot 50 as our gap. So we can actually use our abbreviated line graph. So if we do 0 here, so if we do our zigzag line, we can start off with 150 here. So we can go to 160 here, 170, 180, 190, and then 200 as our highest at the top. And what this allows is that each of the little squares is 1, and it makes it easier to plot. So let's start plotting our data. January has 150, so put a cross at 150. February had 155, so we will put a cross there. March was 170, which is here, and April was 160, which is here. May is 180, and June is our 200. So now what we need to do is join the crosses with a straight line, starting at January. Now, something I haven't done yet is label this axis on the left. So this is orders on the left, and we've got the months across the bottom. So that's our graph complete. Now it says, explain what your graph shows you about the number of orders. So you could say, generally, orders are rising because it goes from low to high. You could say, other than April, orders are up. Anything along those lines will get you that mark. So all in all, there are 5 marks. 4 for the line graph, 1 for the comment on the graph. Question 15. Your boss needs to go to a meeting in London on Sunday. He lives half an hour drive from Stockport Station. He doesn't want to leave home too early. The meeting starts at 1400. It is in a hotel, a 15-minute walk from the station into London. This train timetable is for Sunday, and here we have the Sunday times in our table. The website also has information about ticket prices. So we have off-peak and peak prices here for single and return journeys. The first part of the question is asking us to work out the best train for your boss to catch and explain why you choose that train. Okay, so the meeting was at 2 o'clock, and if we take off 15 minutes for the walk from the station to the meeting, then we have 13:45 as the time that we need the train to arrive at London. So this train here that arrives at London is too late. So we're suggesting that the best train is 13:28. Now, the 13:28 train means that he's not going to be there too early, and it gives him a little bit of leeway to get to the meeting. So the 13:28 train, and he doesn't want to get there too early, so it's probably the best for leaving home not too early, as it states in the brief. Okay, there is another part to the question. So further down, it states that your boss will travel back on Monday. Work out the cheapest cost for your boss to travel to London and back. So he's going down on the Sunday and coming back on the Monday. So looking at the ticket prices, he's got 2 options. Because he's coming back on the Monday, he can get a peak any day return for £242. So it doesn't matter when he goes there and back. However, there is another option where he just pays the one-way fee on the Sunday to go down and the one-way fee to get back on the Monday. So let's have a comparison of these costs. So the total cost for the 2 single tickets is £219.55. So this is less than what he would pay for the anytime peak ticket, so the cheapest option is the 2 single tickets. So back to our question at the bottom of the page. Our working out is on the previous page. where we show that our £45.55 single on the Sunday plus our £175 on the peak on the Monday gave us a total of £219.55, which is less than the £242 for the peak anytime ticket. So the cheapest cost is the £219.55, and this working out altogether gives you 6 marks. And that's the end of the Section B part of the paper and the end of the paper. I hope this video has been of some use. Thank you for watching.